Hi, I'm here with the manager of the Brockton Rox, Chris Miyake. Did I say it right, Chris?
Close, Miyake.
Chris, you very interesting. I was doing some research on you and stuff. You actually, when you played, led the league in triples at one time with 12. What? Power hitter or what?
No, unfortunately, I didn't have enough power to turn those 12 triples into 12 home runs, but that's what I needed to do. But I tend to hit the ball into the gap, so I could run a little bit, and I turned some doubles into triples in bigger ballparks. So unfortunately, I wasn't much of a home run hitter, and I just tried to hit line drives.
Chris, now you're 32. How is that related? I know you were the hitting coach first, and then you got promoted. How is that with your age, with the players around you? Is that an issue, or do you think that's a benefit because you kind of can relate to it?
Well, last year, being my first year, I was a little more worried about age differences and things like that since we are so close in age with some of our players. But now that I have a year under my belt, it's really not that big of an issue. Once you gain their respect and their trust, age doesn't really matter that much. One thing that I think that helps me is being so close to having just played and the age. I think I relate to the players and understand what they're going through more, and I try to use that to my advantage and build a rapport with these players. So I think we have a little bit closer relationship than maybe an older manager might have with some of his players.
That's good. Well, you certainly now you were picked. Like I said, I researched you. You were 22 on the draft. You were picked up by Pittsburgh Pirates. How long were you in that organization?
I was drafted by the Pirates in 1995, and I was with them until the spring training of 1999, and then transitioned to the Adirondack Lumberjacks of the former Northeast League. And then I've worked my way through here. Being in the league, I played 3 years of independent baseball, and then I coached for 4 years, and then transitioned in managing last year.
And how has that been for you, the transition, the learning process, or?
Every time you move from player to coach and then coach to manager, it's definitely it takes a year or so transitioning because everything's so different. Until you experience it, you just don't know how it's going to be. From player to coach is difficult because you still want to be out there playing,
right?
And you have to learn how to somehow transfer your energies into your players, and you have to live and die through them. It's difficult. And then now from coaching, where I'm more on the level of the players. When you're a coach, you're kind of, you can be a little bit more friendly with them. But when you become manager, you have to oversee everything. So a lot more responsibility. It's tough when you have to release players, trade players, things like that, or take them out of the lineup.
Now, do you get say with Andy in matters like that? Do you have some say in trades and transitions and stuff with Andy?
Fortunately, in this organization, I have a lot of control over, who I believe can help us and who can. And if we need to make a move, I can let the front office know that, this is something that we need to do. And I have a lot of support with Andy and then also our owner, Van Schley, and we have a player personnel director, Barry Moss. So we all work together, and for the most part, we see eye to eye, and that helps.
That's good. Now, also, you played a little time up where I was originally from, upstate New York. How was it up there?
I liked upstate New York. I was close to, I played in Adirondack, which is Glens Falls, and got to play near Lake George and Saratoga. Beautiful areas. I really enjoyed my time there, all up and down the upstate New York. I love to fish and the outdoors, so there's a lot of opportunities to do that up there too. And so I really liked my time up there.
And you were also another place, which was New Jersey, which I grew up in West Orange. I understand you were saying Montclair. You were in there for a while.
Right. New Jersey Jackals is their base, their home field is on the campus of Montclair State. So that's where I played. So that was much. I'm from the West Coast, so it was a lot different in New Jersey.
I'm gonna ask you, how are you? It's freezing today. How are you dealing with that?
Well, I guess that's why they call this the hot stove. You're going to need one because I came from about 60, 70 degree weather to I think it was 2 degrees last night.
Oh, jeez.
So it's pretty cold. I don't really have the coats and the jackets and scarves to wear, but I'll make it through a couple days.
That's good to hear. Chris, so you've had quite a few transactions going on lately. You want to talk about some of them?
Yeah, unfortunately there's a lot of turnover. It's just the nature of the business. it's either a mutual thing in some cases. Sometimes we think we need to change directions. Other times it's roster rules. And sometimes players retire and want to move on. So
one retired, actually.
Yeah, we talked to Brad Rosenblatt, and he's thinking about retiring. John Cook, we just traded to Evansville, and he lives in Michigan. He wanted to be closer to home.
Okay, because I was going to ask you about that, because I know he had a good year last year.
He was our closer and had a great season, and he just felt like it was time to move closer to home. So we could try to accommodate our players that way. He's done so much for us. Mike Scanzano, we traded.
Right.
It was one of those things where we were able to acquire a possible closer in Ryan Bernot. So it was tough to see Mike go after a couple of years, but he was guaranteed an opportunity there to start at shortstop, and that's what he wanted to do. Here we wanted to try, even though he did a great job for us, we wanted to try to get more of a veteran shortstop. So we're looking for that. Things happen. Sometimes we're forced into. We have only 4 veteran players, and sometimes we have to make moves that we don't want to do, or the fans don't want us to do, but this is part of the business. So
nobody older, like another oil can on the horizon?
No oil cans this year. So the fans love it, but bottom line is we want to win, and we came very close last year, and so we're trying to put together the best team we can. And if you win, the fans will understand and they'll enjoy it and come out.
I'll tell you, it's a great thing that you can't beat coming to a Rox game. It's pure baseball. It's wonderful, and even your mascot there gets in the act. It's really hilarious. You do stuff during in between innings with the kids too, and throwing contests, I know, and stuff. But what about this year coming up? What do you expect on some of the changes? What do you think is your weaknesses and your strengths, and what do you need to address?
Well, right now we do need to address third base and shortstop. Last year, since we traded Mike Scanzano and Mike Torres, we have a whole left side open. But our strengths are that we're bringing back the core of our veteran players. Offensively, we're bringing back Jason Radwan, our catcher, Guy Senjam, our team MVP, and Francisco Lebron. So we have a big 3 power hitters in the middle of our lineup. We were also able to trade for Matt Maloney, who was the Rookie of the Year in the Golden League last year. So we're hoping he can provide some power in the outfield. And Joe Howe and Eugene Julian, both local kids, are coming back to join us. So they bring speed to the table, and so offensively, we're looking better. We struggled a little bit last year scoring runs, so we're trying to improve that area. Pitching was our strength last year, and hopefully we'll have most of them back. We're looking to bring back John Kelly, who was our ace. We were able to pick up in the trade, and John's outstanding. Brad Guy and Rolando Vieira, we're hoping to bring back, and Wayne Lundgren also. So we had a few moves where we had to make some moves, but we'll fill those in. But I think the core and the nucleus is there to be a very competitive team.
Now let me ask you just before we wind up things here. What is the impact, do you think, of, I understand a new team has come into the league. What is your impact, do you think, on that? Because now you got to have a traveling team?
Yeah, we have 2 new teams, Atlantic City and the traveling team, the Grays. So we're up to 10 teams. So possibly, it could make things a little even more competitive within the league. We'll see the effect. Sometimes, a traveling team, they struggle a little bit. So when we do play them, we need to win. But I like it because we got a few extra home games.
Oh, yeah, excellent. Well, Chris, I want to thank you and good luck. I'll definitely see you in the stands there.
That's good. Thank you.
And you take care.
All right.
Good luck.
Thanks.